tutty, baby.
Let's fucking go! We got this, baby! Let's go!
Hi, and welcome to DDLive. Gentlemen, we are here to talk about everything done deal. But first, I would like to introduce my co-host, the one and only Jose Perraguerra and Michael the Stifler Sabina. And I'm your host, Angel Camacho. And we are brought to you by Ram Law Title Group. For all your legal services need, Noita Rule, Ray Martinez. That's the one you got to call. You want that pit bull defending you, trust me. Everyone knows who he is on the done deal field. Best defender there is, best tier 6 there is. And Roger, we do mean that. Gentlemen, week 2, what I miss, because there's a lot of there's a lot of chatter. There were some trades, there was some history made. There were some teams that I have no clue why they did what they did. I want a little synopsis from your point of view. What the hell happened?
In regards to the trade, you mean?
No, just in regards to week 2 overall.
Bro, I think week 2, so like at least for me, from what I saw, teams that were good, they kind of folded, like the Steelers. I think they got their first 2 losses, right? They went 1-2. That we can talk about. I think the Giants got their first 2 losses too. I think they were 3-0 or 2-1.
Giants lost to Eagles. They beat the Steelers and lost to the Texans, which the Texans are in first place, which we'll get to.
We had said that captains were coming back week 2 and that things were going to change. It didn't change for the Bengals. It didn't change for the Bucks. The one that I think it kind of changed for was the Bears. I think they went like 2-1.
They went 2-1, and including going 4-0 against the Bengals. I think the Kevin experiment at quarterback with Lulu lasted all but 2 drives.
The Caps coming back really, it was only felt on the Bears. The Eagles folded. I think they went 1-2 with Al back.
But they were missing Steady.
So
hey, but remember the DDPA valued his contribution. Everyone said
they were
2-1 asset
without their cap, and now they missed Steady, but their cap's back and they go 1-2. It's like,
It's like the Rams. The Rams are missing Pena, go 2-1. Pena comes back, they're missing Jason, they go 1-2.
Right.
So who's really the horse there? Well,
Bro,
Rams told us Pena out.
Yeah, I mean, I told Pablo, right? I'm sure we're gonna talk about it probably a little bit later on the show, but I told Pablo, man, it's just Pena's your boy. He's a great player, a great individual talent, but he just doesn't fit what Pablo needs to do to win as a quarterback. Pena doesn't fit. Pablo's not throwing the ball deep over the top like that. And then even Pablo was actually, which kind of surprised me, right? It took me a little by surprise. The fact that after the game, he's like, nah, bro, like it was tougher than I thought because I had to take the leadership role on offense, right? And he also had to take the leadership role on defense, because Jason occupies that role for them, running the defense, keeping everyone kind of, calm, cool, and collected. It didn't have that one person to like keep everyone calm, cool, and collected without Jason. So
now
it was rough for them.
The question, and now that we're on the topic of the Rams, did the Rams get the most value for Pena? Like you being an ex-captain, an ex-manipulator, an ex-hands in every goddamn team in the league. I know that maybe you would have gotten more for Pena, but did Pablo get market value for Pena?
I think he did. I think he got
because the comments that he was getting back was that Pena can't play defense. Pena is not an X factor, that he's glass. So does the league not value Pena?
I think, bro, the thing is, bro, that Pena is a quarterback dependent type of stud. Like every tier 1 wide receiver, like they're gonna be dependent on quarterback play because that's all Pena really knows how to do. Like top people, bomb them, straight fades. So like if your quarterback's mediocre to garbage like Pablo is, then your ceiling is not what it sucks, but that's your ceiling. But
if you have Tronky, it's boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, of course. Him with Tronky, him with Piki, him with David, him with Fredo, him with the Devin.
Upper echelon quarterbacks.
I'm sure. Yeah, if you get him like someone that plays ball, I'm sure his ceiling is. You'll get he'll look how he's supposed to. But unfortunately, with Pablo, and Paulo did the right thing, I think. And I think Peja spoke about it a lot. And I think he got good value. He got Shamir, who was ranked top 5. I don't rank Shamir top 5, but for the rankings, he got a top 5 player. He got rid of a fatty, and he got Kevin G as his tier 5, which we could talk about it later about what they should do offensively now. But they're in a good position. I think Paulo doesn't even realize how good a position he's in. If they do some movement there, I think they'll be really good. Like if, for example, Kevin G goes to quarterback, I think Rams are a lot better.
Okay.
I mean, it's just tough.
Yeah, there's not gonna be like this all-star quarterback. On defense, it's gonna be hard to score on, bro. Across the board, bro, they're gonna be tough to score on. Everyone's athletic there.
And now, with the Ralphie addition of the trade, they get a true rusher now.
A true rusher. You got Jason holding the D, Paulo who can play D, Shamir who can play, decent D.
It's a solid team. It's a solid team.
Come on, man. It's a really good team. And I think they're half our rushing, and there's someone else, bro.
Yeah, Angel playing the middle.
Oh,
who's
Angel,
another
bro.
Speedster. Yeah. And then Kevin coming in playing the middle as well. I mean, like I told them, right? Obviously, anytime you trade a captain, you're gonna get pretty good value back. I think he got that. I know him and I talked. I'm not a fan of the trade he ended up making, right? Because at the end of the day, Kevin's a mismatch, right? But it's not the mismatch I would have taken. Like I would have taken a bona fide low end tier 4 as my worst player. Like I told him, I was like
Pablo now.
I've heard rumblings, right?
Does that team trade Pablo now?
I've heard rumblings. I don't know if someone actually has not the pool, right? But the thing now comes back to what are you gonna trade Pablo for? A captain? Okay, captain and what? You're gonna get back a tier 6? Like it's kind of irrelevant at that point. Like I'd rather just play with the team that you have now. Unless you go 0-3 and you guys didn't score a single point.
I think the trade that's gonna happen will happen after this week, not before. It's gonna happen if they do bad. It's gonna be confrontation between Kevin and Pablo. Like, who should be the quarterback? And that whoever wants to be quarterback the most will try to trade the other.
Oye, pero Pablo se pone fula. Like we know Pablo. Like we know Pablo on a personal level. We know how he gets. I don't think there's gonna be any confrontation other than Pablo saying, "Look at me, I am the captain now."
Yeah,
well, he is the captain.
No, yeah, technically, but don't tell that to Kevin. Kevin G is gonna want to throw, man. If he convinced Lulu he could throw, this program has said he's a formidable quarterback. Do we have trouble in paradise before it even starts?
I think
your faces say it all.
Yeah, I think it'll be a trade for sure.
All right, I want to keep kicking the Rams, but let's move on to another conundrum. That is the San Francisco 49ers and Derek. They opened the season 2-0-1.
Crazy.
Then they go week 2, 3-0, and then they stand at 5-0-1. And then they make that trade to completely blow the whole thing up. Like, what am I missing here? The math is not mathing.
Look,
Rogers was missing.
That's crazy, bro. That guy's toxic. Let me make a solid point here before we even dig. Bro, that they beat us. Yes, we didn't have our tier 6, so they had free rotations. But in my opinion, the Niners beat us pretty decisively. Like we didn't stop them once, not once. He drove down upwards. In back of my head, I never admitted it, but I was like, "Yo, it's gonna be us versus them." And I think I always thought they were gonna win. It's Derek. He makes good decisions, and I don't think the peaky getting to people's head. I think Derek's immune to that, in my opinion. This is me being unbiased. I don't think Derek's the type of guy to get rattled into shit talking and none of that. And they beat us decisively. And they're undefeated. How you finna trade that team, bro? Like, why? Those are things I don't understand. People get so they're
and then out of all of this, then it's something that this show called. We called it that the Vikings were going to be save a squad member. That it's like somehow they're like these people they're tied to each other, and they will like magnets in the middle of a season. They'll create a graveyard, and that's another thing about a graveyard. But we'll get to. Vikings 1-4-1 after this trade. They got Matt throwing. They got what? Georgie,
Sean,
Mark,
Georgie,
Matt,
JJ and Roger. But Roger's
no Roger this week. So the Vikings could really go 3-0 this week and then be 4-4-1. Right?
Why is there no Roger this week? There's no Roger this week, you said?
I believe there's no Roger this week.
No, I think what you read was what I said because
Right.
he doesn't since Chrissy's they're not gonna allow him to play. He's basically out. Like
Oh,
that's
okay,
what I
okay,
meant.
okay, 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 okay.
Basically, yeah. There's no Roger. Yeah,
Okay, okay. Then I misunderstood there.
yeah.
Um,
They should go 3-0. I mean, if they don't,
Wow.
bro, honestly, they have this roster right now. Yeah, I get it. Matt is this bozo, but bro, he has
A
the
bozo
two
with a
captains,
laser
a
of an arm.
2, a 3,
yeah.
a high 5. And listen, we're gonna shit on Roger because that's just it is what it is. Yeah, he brings it to himself. He's not the worst tier 6. He ain't the
Yeah,
best,
by no stretch of the
but
imagination, no.
when you add in his toxicity level, then yeah, that's why he's a bottom 2, 3 pick every single season. Nobody wants that guy on their roster.
That team's really good right now. It's I don't care what anyone says like Matt sucks. Bro, stop. It's a good team, bro. Matt, if anyone can catch Matt's balls, it's those people. Those people play football.
Yeah,
Oh,
Mark
yeah.
and Georgie. Yeah, Mark and Georgie.
And
Especially
Sean too.
especially that Mark does play with him on Beyond Belief in the red zone
They
on
can
occasions.
play. They're not. This isn't DD. That's a rec team, a little rec team they got from there. It's good.
Yeah.
A good
Yeah.
team.
So out of some, at least the Vikings made something out of that trade. A lot of the teams they
Yeah, I mean they were
traded
definitely a
talent.
big winner.
I think Vikings were the biggest winner in that transaction. Niners, I think they're either the same or maybe.
They can't be better. They can't be better because
honestly,
they're undefeated.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
mean
my
they
point.
could be better, right? Realistically, they could be better, but no, man. I think honestly, on paper, they got worse. Obviously, you add a player like Grant,
Now,
Petey now becomes
from the outside looking in, did the DDPA get it wrong here?
I mean, I think so, but I wouldn't blame the DDP as much as the players. Like Serge, what the fuck are you doing? Like
Yeah.
it's a 4-player, like it's a 4-team trade where you're trading away multiple captains. So at least 6 people have to agree to this trade. So if 6 people agree,
There was
it is what it is.
There was people hell bent within these trades that were part of 5 other different scenarios that the DDPA did not allow to go through because in there were egregious trades where it was extremely lopsided and it didn't make sense. And this was on the outcome of the Saints just trying to, it felt like they were just trying to put their boys in better camps before they did the ejectocito. And the DDPA stood by and said, you know what, we're just going to give this some time to marinate. Within a day, Andy's out of the league. And then, then the new Andy's into the league. So I think that there was a lot of shady business ongoing in the roster personnel decisions.
I think that if you look at it before the trade,
But the Saints are already a graveyard.
I think there are 3 graveyards before the trade. The Vikings were considered graveyard. They were really bad by default. Georgie's doo-doo captain. Then you have Chargers, who I also think Mark's a doo-doo captain, but he wasn't there week 2, so you could never see anything. So as biased, I can't really say that he created a graveyard there. Although drafting Kevin the quarterback, we told you, that was going to be a graveyard. But Saints were a graveyard by poor drafting. So those were 3 graveyards. Now you only have 2. I think the Vikings are not a graveyard, and Niners, well, they were never were a graveyard. So now you only have 2, Saints and Chargers.
I think you have are the Bengals a graveyard? Now they're not because they have Lulu and Pena, because going into week 2, I think, prior to all these trades happening, you kind of had Bengals, Chargers, Saints, Bucks, Vikings as the graveyards for the league.
I would definitely still say the Bengals are a graveyard because you have those 2 caps, but then you drop down to a tier 4 in Joel, a tier 4 in Anthony Aleman, and then 2 tier 6s.
So that team reminds me literally of Tronky's team, but a little bit less better.
Faster.
Like Tronky obviously carried Lulu to the not carry. That was the wrong word. But like they 2 paired up well to go to the championship last season. That team wasn't all that good at all. Like once you get out of Lulu, it was like, all right, these people are actually ass. But they were so good together that they went the whole way. Maybe they get a little better in the sense that maybe Lulu can do that with Peña. I don't know, but we'll see.
At least this trade documents the fact that we have one less graveyard thanks to this trade.
I think we do have one less graveyard. I don't think DDPA messed it up. I think the people that messed it up is squad. I want them out the league. I'm gonna leave. but I want them out first. I want them kicked out of here. I think they're bad for DD.
They're bad for business.
Yeah, bro.
They're
They
selfish.
they just do
Yeah,
it
I
in
mean,
and out.
They're
If it's
selfish.
not Pat,
yeah.
if it's Georgie, if it's not Georgie, it's Devin. If it's Devin doesn't
No,
do
no,
it.
si cuando
If
es
not
uno
Devin, it's
todo el mundo.
I
Huh?
said
But
it.
it's what we said. I don't think it's a DDP. I think it's just the fact that
Yeah.
multiple when you have a multiple team trade and you have multiple captains moving,
No, there was
if
just
multiple people agree, doesn't matter what the reason why they're agreeing. I mean, obviously we know
everybody was
there's
hell bent.
reasons. Yeah, we know there's reasons why people agree to their trades, and whatever, let those reasons be whatever they are.
It was a good
But
trade.
if people agree, I mean, bro, the Saints, bro, like, I'm sorry, but how does A2 and Damien agree to that trade? Like, no, bro, that does not make you better.
A2,
Right.
I think A2 broke up a better trade before this one. Like I before I went out skiing, I'm talking to A2 to confirm on a trade that he thought he was going to accept or not, and then he wanted some terms to be met. They weren't met, so he pulls out of the trade. I go skiing, I come back, and I have a notification to approve a 4-team trade. It's beyond me. I'm telling you that there was at least 4 or 5 different scenarios involving a lot of these players.
It's not your guys' fault. You guys did good. It was a good trade, bro. It's a good trade. I still think
I think the
Mikey-
DDPA.
it's a good trade. It's a 4-man trade that's super hard to evaluate, bro. There's always gonna
There's
be
always gonna be 100%.
So there's always going to be a winner and a
think-
loser.
I just think the DDPA, if anything going forward, they should allow like one of these teams, bro. I'm pretty sure they're trying to get one of their boys in, right? That plays quarterback, right? Coming back from a big time injury, and people don't want to let him in, bro, for whatever the reason. Apparently they're
That's
scared
flawed.
of the guy.
And that's
That's
flawed.
flawed. That's flawed. That's
Like,
flawed.
that's
You gotta let the
crazy,
dogs
bro.
out. Que perra, que perra. All right. One of the big narratives coming into week 2 was the trade between the Falcons and the Raiders. Another captain slayer. But in this case, the Falcons, not the David-led Raiders. The Falcons go 3-0 with primetime Jaime Jarquin.
What do you think about Swazo? What do you think about Swazo?
Man, I'm glad to be in the Falcons. Call me primetime Jaime.
Going 3-0, leveling 3-3 on the season, and right in the thick of things as a contender in their conference. What's more impressive? The fact that the Raiders went 3-0, or that that the Falcons went 3-0, or the new look Raiders with David Elias can't seem to win a game.
Well, they won 1, and they're undefeated technically because they tied the
They
other.
had 2 ties.
Definitely the Falcons, though, man.
That's
I mean, bro, I mean, it's crazy how when you trade, bro, sometimes there's a winner and loser, but it doesn't matter. Sometimes all you need is a dynamic change, and both teams can win. It's the weirdest shit, bro. It's DD, and I didn't think the Falcons were gonna get that much better, bro. They
3-0.
They also went to the North, which I don't know if we've all mutually agreed that the North is weaker than the South now.
Doo-doo.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Oh,
This
I
shows
think
states
that
that the
too.
South is better.
Yeah, so they went to the North, and honestly, they should have lost against the Bears. So Fredo folded the fuck out that game. I watched it, but regardless, they're 3-0, and then David.
Speed, bro.
Is David struggling?
I mean,
the
I
Niners,
saw
that's
them play.
impressive.
I saw them play against the Vikings. And the Vikings were pretty bad, right? It was just like an ugly game.
Hey,
but I
I played with David twice, and I think he's not a regular season player. When I played with him in that shit was bad. Like I would talk to him, I'm like, bro, hey, you're fucking up, my boy. Like that was a shitty throw. But I don't know, bro. It's hard to bet on that guy. It's like when Tom Brady has a shitty season, and then you're like, we all counted David out. Even I'm like, this motherfucker. After 3 rings, bro, that's it. Hasta cuando your luck has run out, and then he does some shit
again.
Yeah, so I don't know.
I just want to like avoid talking about the guy.
Yeah,
because
bro.
man, it's ugly. But like Mikey said, and obviously people are gonna make fun of it, whatever. But he somehow still went undefeated, bro.
Sure.
You know,
He
the
didn't lose.
ties in DD are underrated, bro. People talk shit on ties. Ties are definitely what gets you in the playoffs when it comes down to it.
And it was a tie against the Niners. That means his schedule's gonna soften up a bit later, bro. You know, he'd have to play the Niners. Supposed to play Vikings, and then who else? I think he had another tough game.
David?
Yeah.
Beat the Bears. David beat the Bears, and then he tied against the.
No, he didn't play the Bears. He's in the South.
He tied
the
against
Raiders now.
He tied against the Vikings, and he tied against the Niners.
And who did he beat?
And he beat the Bears.
The Bears.
No, man, he's the Raiders.
He's the Raiders.
David. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. I'm mixing up the weeks. You could tell it was in another world. He beat Tronky. Not saying much. 4-2.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
saying.
Okay, yeah, never mind.
Yeah,
I'm still not gonna talk shit about the guy.
He tied against the Vikings. That's bad, bro.
Before the trade.
I'm gonna slightly talk shit. That's bad. Whatever happened to the Niners, he must have gotten unlucky. But whatever, that's all I'm gonna say because this guy's gonna keep the video, and if something happens, he's gonna post it.
All right. So we'll leave it at that. Now, let's talk about the South. We say that is the best conference. I think it's a 3-team race. I think and then we're going to sort everybody else. Rate them 1, 2, 3. 49ers, Cowboys, Dolphins.
I got Niners third for sure right now.
Okay. I think that's the consensus here, especially that we don't know what we're going to get after that trade.
I'm a huge fan of the Dolphins. I am.
I think so too.
I'm a huge fan.
I think I would put Dolphins, Cowboys, Niners.
But we get to see the Dolphins versus Cowboys now this weekend, and they said they're gonna let Chris Z play, which is super honorable of them. I think that's fantastic. Like, Craig's not even worried about it. Like, that's fine, bro. Those are the people.
Admirable.
Bro, the guy's like, why would I not? I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
You can tell this guy's
There's so many guys in this league that will not let Juju play this week.
Oh, they're not going to.
Yeah, no, they're not going to let Juju play. But you know that's you know it's there something has to be done about that because it was a player you traded for in Julio. Then Julio, I know you're absorbing whatever he had, but it's not fair.
It's a little iffy, right? It's a little iffy because I do get the rule, right? Because people can then say, yo, I'm dropping, I'm gonna declare that I'm missing, impact your draft stock, drop off to a better team or in a better position, and then we can let him play. So like it's a little tough, right? It's a little touchy
but technically,
I've been on both ends.
I'm gonna advise people going forward just not to say if you're gonna miss a week. Just don't say anything.
Realistically, yeah, man.
Just don't say it. There's no
fix. That's the fix.
There's no merit. There's no merit. There's no merit. All you're doing is that you're locking yourself up. You're locking your team up. And it's just, give the surprise to your captain or on draft day. Be like, hey, don't pick me because I might miss this week or not. You got to have the power as the player because there's absolutely no merit in doing the honorable thing and saying you're not going to be there. And then now Juju has to pay for someone else's seat.
Exactly. And then that's what I said. If anything, like the only exception is, right, like in a case like
Ramon
this.
Prego, that's the exception.
No, like I'm saying, like the guy drops, right? And then you're still penalizing someone to come in that doesn't affect them.
That's paying to not play those games.
Yeah, like it's a little tough. Like that's the only time I'll maybe be like, yo, like all right, that guy's allowed to play. But still, like it's tough.
And,
I mean,
I'm not saying that this is, and I'm not saying it's a left field thing because it's a documented thing that it is what it is. I'm just saying that there's no merit in it.
Yeah, I think there was solutions for players from now on. Just don't declare at all because there's no.
You hold all the power anyways.
Yeah, don't declare unless you're tier 6. Tier 6
do it, Kevin. Just like he shows up draft day with a sling. Say you want to do this, don't want to do that. Be like Pablo. I want to be a quarterback. Just manipulate. DD your way in and out. Just learn the rules and learn how to machinate in between them. Now, which teams are pretenders in this next batch? And I'm gonna give you 6 teams.
6? Nah, bring it down to 4. 6 is too much.
No, guy, because
Give me 6, I'll tell you.
Okay, between Commanders, Jaguars, Rams, who's the pretender?
I'm gonna say Jaguars.
They're the pretenders. Are Commanders and Rams pretenders?
I wouldn't say they're
What's a pretender? Like not making playoffs?
Like like a pretender, like
a regular season team.
Yeah,
like the Vikings were like the real life Vikings were last season. That they were like the number 2 seed. Some shit like that.
I think Commanders they're 4-2, so they're sitting a little bit higher than them. They're pretenders for sure. I think they're not. They're a first round exit. Yeah.
Okay. What about Eagles?
Well,
all right. Wait, hold on. What were you gonna say?
No,
I love
I was just gonna say, I was gonna ask how much. Like, I'm pretty sure the Commanders are in the playoffs.
yeah.
Um,
Jags and Rams.
the Rams are in the playoffs, and then the Jags are what, the 6th seed or the 7th seed?
Most probably, yeah.
Yeah, out of those, I would say they're for sure, in my opinion, the one team that has no shot as of right now.
I'll tell
That
you,
team's pretty bad.
tell you what, we struggled like crazy to score on them. I think we won 2 to 0.1. We won. We shut them out, which is that's like decisive, but they were pretty tough. The Commanders to me were the easiest one out of all of them. They really suck, man.
All right. Now, flipping it to the other side. Pretenders. Eagles, Falcons, Bears.
I'm gonna say Eagles.
Eagles are pretenders?
Yeah, I mean, I can't, not that I can't, right? But I'm gonna believe Alfredo as the quarterback. That's the better team right there.
Yes.
And then the Falcons with Josh and Jaime, and now all that speed fits into Josh's game. So I'm gonna take that. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna trust Chris J and Al because you never know what Al's gonna do on any given day. So I'm gonna say they're the pretenders.
Yeah, I think more so better instead of like including Eagles. I'm still gonna stick to my gut and say Seahawks are a pretender team. That, and I know it's not one of the ones you included, but to me, that's the pretender. More so than them, the biggest pretender is Panthers. God, bro, I can't. I don't know what it is, bro.
Well, you jump into you jump into the other conference. You jump into the other conference because looking at no, because we're also talking like because when we were talking about Commanders, Jaguars, Rams.
Oh, they said Eagles, Falcons.
Yeah, that was the second one.
Yeah. I got you.
But all right. So we got the Eagles as the pretenders, which would be the ones on the ones looking out. So let's stick there with the North then. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams tied for first place. Texans, Giants, Panthers, Steelers, Seahawks. Who separates this week? Because Giants are not going to have Chris D. Panthers, you're saying are pretenders that they're fake.
Yes.
Steelers are another team that we called on being fake. So are we saying that the Seahawks and the Texans are going to make a little?
I would probably have to say I would say the Texans because I like that team as a whole more than I like the Seahawks team right now.
Bro, that conference is so cocky that you could just roll the dice, bro.
But exactly that the fact that there's 5 teams tied, no one has separated themselves yet, shows you that there isn't a clear-cut favorite. Shows you that conference sucks.
Yeah, it could go which either way. And
Falcons can go 3-0 again.
Which is the reason why I was asking you guys about Eagles, Falcons, Bears, because then Eagles 9 points, Falcons 9 points, Bears 6 points. So it could go whichever way this week, and then they're going to be in the thick of things. So Bengals and Chargers, we already said that they're graveyard. No point in including them in any of the conversations. But just interesting.
Dude, look at this conference. Falcons can go 3-0, and Texans go 2-1, and Falcons get the first seed, and they're in 7th seed right now. That's ridiculous to me. That goes to show you how crazy this fucking conference is.
Now, and if you look at on the other side, on the flip side, you got Niners, Cowboys, Dolphins, 16, 15, 15, and then that's where then you have the drop. You have Commanders. That's why I said Commanders, Jaguars, Rams are those 3 teams vying for that 4, 5, 6. But then the big picture is if David starts to win games with the Raiders and the new look Vikings start to win, then if the Commanders and Jaguars and Rams don't solidify their leads this week, they could get overtaken by those teams. So that's what makes the South that much more, because I just don't see outside of the 49ers slightly being worse than what they were. But Cowboys and Dolphins, they're just going to keep winning. And then 49ers are going to stay too far behind. So it's going to be a little 5-team race. And that's if Tronky decides to play football, then the Buccaneers could maybe have a say in it. But at 6 losses and no dubs, I think Buccaneers and Saints, as we've already said, they're pretty much a graveyard. They're already in Halloween.
Yeah, after this week, if they go 0-3 again, they're done. They've got to blow it up and create a graveyard. Well, it's already a graveyard, but they got to go and seek if they can get a playoff ticket elsewhere.
All right. Now let's move on to games of the week, gentlemen. First game. New look 49ers versus the Dolphins.
I'm gonna.
I got Dolphins.
Yeah, I got Dolphins.
I
I'm a
got
fan.
Fins up 4-3. So we're gonna go unanimous with the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No Chris D Giants versus the Seahawks.
Garbage game of the week, bro. Like,
Yeah, no.
why did they
I mean,
pick them, bro?
if this is real, right? If the whole Chris D actually not playing is a real
Right.
thing, then yeah, 100% Seahawks 4-1.
4-1. All right. If Chris D like miraculously shows up like in a Houdini, let's give a score for that too, because you never know what these Swiss guys.
Why isn't he playing supposedly?
I don't know. Apparently he's out, and that's the reason why Juju. They're not gonna let Juju play.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, doesn't matter to me.
Seahawks then.
Yeah, you
Unanimous
have to.
Seahawks, gentlemen. All right.
But I think the kids, the brothers give them a good game without Chris D though. I think low key they play with each other a lot, and you might see some, maybe they'll sneak. If Chris D doesn't go, I'm not shocked if they sneak a win somewhere. And those kids.
But I don't think it's gonna be against Devin and Louis Ituri.
No. I mean, you can't. I mean, I don't know.
Can't cover that guy.
I hate the fucking Seahawks, man. I think they suck.
Dolphins, Cowboys.
That's rough, bro.
I got 3-2 Cowboys.
I think it's gonna be a low scoring for sure too.
I know. It's just gonna be that game that the Cowboys had with the Jaguars. You guys won like 3-1 or 2-0. That it was just ugly. Like Maso Menos is like Sports Mania's light. It's just like, so Dolphins are like, like Manias. So it's like
I'm gonna
Manias,
say
3-2 Cowboys.
I'm gonna say I agree, bro. Something like that. 3-2.
I got 3-2 Dolphins.
Yeah, it's gonna be
3-2
something
Dolphins?
very, very, very. It's gonna be a good game. I'm very excited to play that game.
And the final game, the competition of the booty cheeks, according to this show, Steelers versus Eagles.
It's a terrible game of the week.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm gonna say
that you rather watch paint dry.
No, it's a big game, but
it's gonna be an ugly game.
Yeah.
If the Steelers are full strength, show up that game, come that game, I think the Steelers win. If they're not, because Izzy, hopefully, brother, you actually want to take care of your face, and maybe you don't show up and play.
That happened to Izzy.
Bro, you can see the skull, bro.
Fredo's elbow when he was rushing, and they cracked his head.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. But I'm gonna have to, for the moment, because I don't know how the Steelers are gonna show up. I'm gonna have to take the Eagles.
It's so tough, bro. Like,
and I'm gonna take him like, I want to say like 3-1, because they're not gonna score. Yeah, I'm gonna take Eagles 3-1.
I'm gonna say Steelers, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Eagles 3-2.
I'll go with Steelers. I'll give them some hope.
Okay.
But I really, I'm flipping a coin here, bro. Straight up, not even capping. Like,
those are the games of the week. Now, final segment, bold predictions. I got, I'm gonna start. Bold prediction for me: Bears go 3-0.
What, bro? You're funny with
3-0.
Oh no,
that's
3-0.
bold, but Jesus.
3-0, and I'm opening up the show next week as 3-0.
As a what? Yeah,
3-0.
No shot. I'm gonna say this. I don't know how bold it is.
Me tienen bravo hacer.
I'm gonna say that the Vikings go 1-2.
Vikings go 1-2.
I mean, they do have a tough schedule, bro.
Bro, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna go through that roster again.
They
Two
play-
captains, a tier 2, a tier 3, a high 5, and a good 6.
No. It'd be funny if they go 1-2. Then Jesus, that sucks. Then there's still a graveyard. Then there's still 3 graveyards.
No, actually, we identified 4 graveyards on this show.
My God. I'll be bold.
I'll go back. I'm gonna say Vikings 0-3.
Jesus.
Hey,
I'll
I
be-
think- yo, I think you're onto something, Perra. They play
I
the
think-
Cowboys. The Vikings play the Cowboys, the Dolphins, and the Jaguars.
Oh, 0-3 for sure. Never mind. 0-3. And it might not even be that bold.
Nah, it's pretty bold.
Wow, I think you're onto something. All right, Mikey, give us your bold prediction.
Bro, my bold prediction. I'm gonna have to look. I'll be so bold. I'll give you something fire here, bro. The
Dime.
Cowboys.
Hurricanes win the national championship.
That's pretty bold, man. Nah, look. I think the
hope so.
Cowboys. I think it's gonna be a tough week, Wills, for Z, but still, I think this week we can go 0-3, 1-2 in the middle there.
Oh,
the
3,
middle.
1-2.
Yeah, bro. I think my chat's hating
boy.
me.
You're gonna get
Hey.
traded when your team sees this. They're gonna rip you apart in your chat.
Hey, there's nothing. This is something a philosophy I always say. 2-1 is always better than 3-0. Every week of the day. Trust me. Adversity.
Every week of the day, Mikey.
My bad.
Mikey.
Every day of the week. Hey, the beers are getting to me. You will always prefer a 2-1 over in 3-0. Remember that's gonna be written in for years to come in DD here. But
Well, guys, you heard it here first. Every week of the day, you take a 2-1 over a 3-0. Hey, as we always say, this is the show of the people, and DD is life. Good luck, Godspeed, and go Hurricanes.
Yo, let me in. Let me in.